Hello everyone, it's playoff time in MLS. The chance for one lucky city to add a professional sports championship to its trophy case. There are 10 teams in the big dance, but there's only one town that's really starving, really famished for the hokey championship t-shirts and the ticker tape parade down Main Street. So which of the 10 cities needs this MLS Cup more than any other? I'll tell you in a second, but let's get one thing out of the way. First, LA, New York, do you really need another championship? Come on, don't be greedy, especially you, LA, with back-to-back MLS Cup titles to go with the silverware haul in the other pro sports. And New York, sorry, you're also at the back of the line. I know that Supporters Shield was your first soccer trophy in the MLS era, but consider it enough for this year. And then when you add a couple of Super Bowls and a bunch of Yankee World Series, you've had your fill for now. Another city that really doesn't need an MLS Cup, it's Boston, New England, whatever. So Revolution fans, enjoy your first trip to the MLS postseason in a while. But the Boston sports mantle, it's pretty full. The Bruins, the Red Sox, the Patriots, they've done enough to hold you over for a few more years. When you look at all that Boston has, Colorado's trophy cabinet looks kind of bare, but it's not that bad. Remember the back-to-back Elway Super Bowls? The Avalanche won Lord Stanley in this century, and the Rapids, they won MLS Cup just 3 years ago. So Denver, you're good. Kind of like Houston. I know Houstonians will tell you, Hakeem the Dream was nearly 20 years ago. And they also probably think they deserve a medal for putting up with the Astros and now the Texans circus. But when your Dynamo win back-to-back MLS Cup titles and you've been to 4 MLS finals in the last 6 years, you can probably wait a bit longer. Those Hakeem days for Houston were roughly around the same time that the Montreal Canadiens last won a Stanley Cup, and we know how Montrealers live and die with their hockey. But the reason they're at number 5, well, it's the back-to-back Grey Cups won by the Alouettes just a few years ago. Plus, the impact just got to MLS. Their time will come. Kansas City's time came in 2000. That's when Danish Dynamite, Miklos Molnar, and Tony Meola won the first pro sports championship in KC since the Steve Balboni Royals of 1985. They were known as the Wizards back then. I know, it feels like ancient times in MLS history. They're at number 4. Now, if you've won a trophy in recent years, how hungry can you really be? But when Real Salt Lake won MLS Cup not too long ago, in 2009, that was Salt Lake City's first pro championship ever! Someone out there just heard that and said, really? Oh yeah, man? Mailman, he never delivered! So Salt Lake have some ground to make up, and RSL can help. SLC is at number 3. And we're up to the 2 cities hungriest for the 2013 MLS Cup title. Seattle, Portland. And people wonder why the Pacific Northwest has latched onto soccer, why the passion is so heated for the sport. Take a look at the sports history of Portland and Seattle, and you get your answer. Before the Timbers came along, Portland only ever had the Trailblazers in basketball, and they did win an NBA title in 1977. But that's it. Clyde the Glide teased Portland in the early 90s, but there was nothing else to celebrate until Alex Morgan and the Thorns won the National Women's Soccer League trophy a couple of months ago. But up the road in Seattle, they got nothing. That's why they're number 1 on this list. The Mariners, the Seahawks, the Oklahoma Sonics. They've been good every now and then, but they never could seal the deal. And the Sounders, with all the money they've spent on players and the thousands that attend their games, they want to be different. They want to actually win the big one. And in soccer, that's MLS Cup. So if you don't yet have a rooting interest in these MLS Cup playoffs, you may want to shift your sympathies towards the Sounders for this one. Seattle needs this one bad.